Good morning, everybody. Welcome. And before I start, I just wanted to quickly say a special congratulations to Frederick and Christian from Aventis Media Group. Your vision and passion and commitment to this event and this subject matter is fantastic. So thank you for taking the vision and the passion for putting into this. So my name is Duncan Horton. I'm the Chief Executive of Jacobs Media Group. We're a global media and events business based in London, but placed all around the world. We service the travel and hospitality industry, and one of our brands is the Resilience Council. And we set up the Resilience Council to connect public and private sector to create partnerships and thought leadership and vision in our travel and tourism sector. So today I felt very honoured to be able to introduce this section. I'm going to introduce Ibrahim Osta from USAID, who's going to give us a more detailed overview of the session and the press conference. So Ibrahim, please.
Well, I wanted to thank you first. I started thanking you, nobody noticed because Rajan was talking, for this partnership we've had together for many, many years. We've been working together since 2016. Jordan, Nepal, London, and other places, Duncan and his wonderful team. And it's great that we have this opportunity to speak to you again, because we were here last year in the same place at the same time when Bosnia and Herzegovina came, and Bosnia and Herzegovina said, we're going to do all these things. And yesterday, the lovely Debbie Flynn, who's wonderful to have with us today, said, oh, wow, you did all these things. You did accomplish all your promises, and I would say even more. So I have a wonderful, wonderful daughter. She's studying global affairs, and she's almost done. And the other day said, oh, I'm working on my bluff. And I said, no, don't be bluffing anybody. What is this bluff? And I learned the term for the first time after all these years. It's called bring last up front. So if I have a message for you, bring last up front. The last thing I would want to talk about is don't leave the room without one of these. We have 10 or 11 QR codes. Each one tells a sustainability story. And we're here, name of the conference, is about transformation. And the question is, how are we, the USAID tourism program in Bosnia and Herzegovina, taking international best practice and working at the destination level to transform the entire sector? And we have lots of stories to share with you. We have speakers on 5 or 6 panels today, as a matter of fact. So we're talking about almost everything from finance to community development and engagement to workforce development and otherwise, and even agriculture and wine. But let me begin by introducing Dr. Erol Mujanovic, who is going to give us the vision. Why is the United States government investing in tourism in the country of Bosnia and Herzegovina? Because whatever he says actually is ascribed also to what USAID is doing globally and in a number of other destinations that USAID is supporting in the tourism sector. So I would say Dr. Erol Mujanovic is the Deputy Director of the Economic Development Office of USAID, and really they're a key partner in the development of the country, and that's quite important. Erol.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. C'est un plaisir énorme d'être là. Je vais passer en anglais, quand même.
It's a pleasure for me to be here, but I will be speaking in English, which is the main working language.
United States,
Je suis ravie de représenter
Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm happy to discuss with you today our tourism-driven economic development program in the country. United States government is working with government of Bosnia and Herzegovina, all other key local partners and governments, with private sector, of course, with people of Bosnia and Herzegovina, in order to foster economic development through sustainable tourism. In our case, we have one flagship activity that I'll be developing during this short remarks. But basically, tourism in Bosnia and Herzegovina accounts for 11% of the workforce. It's one of the fastest growing economic sector in the country, a huge contributor to GDP. And what is the even stronger argument and opportunities, it still has huge potential to do even more. So this is why we are intervening in that sector. Our most important activity in the portfolio is called Developing Sustainable Tourism in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is a $20 million US, 5 years long program. If we would report and compare that size of investment to the population of other bigger countries like France, it would be not 20, but like $500 million US. So just to give you a size of that investment for Bosnia and Herzegovina and its importance. One of key success factors of this program in the country is precisely its ability and capacity to develop, I would say, amazing partnerships. We call them very dynamic and efficient partnerships and cooperation, be it with international global players and actors, like some of them that are sitting with us today, be it with local government, where we have amazing partners, of course, with all other actors in the country. And this is really one of key success factors. When we discussed and met, when the Bosnian delegation was present last year in Evora, plans were laid down to discuss sustainable development. And today I'm very happy to see that most of these plans and activities and action have been accelerated or even already implemented, which is amazing. And also I noticed that both the quality and the number of partnerships, local, regional or international, increased. So this all comes as very, very good and nice, I would say, positive surprise. So this is why I'm looking forward to telling you our story. I'm inviting you to develop and to discuss further different international partnerships with Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is one of the most amazing destinations in Europe. Thank you.
What happened to our slide? It'd be great, whoever is controlling the slide, to bring it back. Thank you, Erol. That was a bit fancy for me, a bit starting with French. So I can't compete with that. But, well, we have, you spoke about the theme of partnership, and we have the private sector on one side, and we have government on the other side, government and the private sector, I would say. And I'm pleased to have the minister, the deputy minister of Environment and Tourism from the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina with us today to give us the government view. You know, how does the government see tourism development, and more importantly, how they're viewing sustainable tourism development. I would say that when Erol spoke about USAID investment, I never knew I'm managing a $500 million project. But when USAID designed it, they put in sustainability in the name, because that really drives everything that we're doing. The project is called Developing Sustainable Tourism in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And to speak about also the government's view of sustainability, I would like to turn it over to Deputy Minister, Ms. Sabina-Salihbegovic, who will take it for me.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Hello, everybody. I want to greet you from the Ministry of Environment and Tourism of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. We are proud that we are charting the future of our tourism to be sustainable from the beginning. And what I want to say that we, in our language, we don't want to say that tourism is an industry. The industry is something that's dirty, that seems like it is a fossil fuels or metallurgic, etc. We like to say that tourism is a science. It is a science of beauty for us. And we are a relatively new destination, and our newness is precisely why it is so attractive in today's global market. As the world seeks less discovered destination, our appeal is rising. This is why we want to pay a special attention from the early stage of development to determine a sustainable future path for our industry. In my ministry, we have 3 departments for environment and 1 department for tourism. And for many years, they didn't interact between each other. Now, in these 2 years ago, we start to work together. We connect these departments. And it is, these departments are managing to protect our most precious natural assets, from rivers to forests. And I must say you that it is very difficult in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's a very difficult task to do it. If I have a single message today, it is that we begin by envisioning a future where the people and the environment will be in a better position than present. The climate change warned us that the people should reconciliate with the nature. It is time. It is time. It is last time for boarding. We all doing it with our partnerships in the partnerships with local community. It is a basic cell in our society, and with the organizations, with USAID with global businesses that share our values for responsible and sustainable development, and three of them are here with us today, and thanks to USAID that enabled these partnerships. And the other message is to invite you to come to Bosnia and Herzegovina, to feel the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina, to feel their hospitality. We think that it is the most exciting destination in the world. If you don't come, you will never know. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for these wonderful remarks. And I saw so many heads nodding because the Deputy Minister, I think, charted a course for the future for the development of tourism in the country that is truly sustainable and responsible. But she ended with something very interesting. She said, come and feel the people. And it's a teaser for the next speaker, because you'll find out what she means. You know, on the theme of partnership, the ministry's been in the forefront and of leading initiatives that do safeguard nature. And the question is why? First, it's the right thing to do. Second, it's the most precious asset that Bosnia and Herzegovina has. 2/3 of the country is rural. The majority of the country is covered by forest. And it has one of the largest fresh water supplies on the planet, certainly in Europe. And most pristine rivers where rafting takes place, or kayaking or otherwise, are rivers that you can actually drink. So you can drink most of the rivers. And this is why the Ministry of Environment and Tourism has a key role to play here. And as a matter of fact, just notice their name is Ministry of Environment first and Tourism. And so that says something. But moving on, the ministry is not alone. The ministry has also the private sector from within Bosnia and Herzegovina. We'll speak about our wonderful international partners in a second, but the local private sector is part and parcel of the charting of the course of development. Because, as we heard again from the Deputy Minister, tourism is a relatively new phenomenon in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's a former Yugoslav country, and tourism is still, as Erol mentioned, while rising, it's still in its infancy in terms of the potential. Average occupancy year-round in the country is in the third, about a third. So we have 2/3 of the year to fill. Now, we have a seasonality issue. So July, August, our country's pretty busy, but not necessarily everywhere. So we need to work on spread. And, but the rest of the year gives opportunities to bring more visitors from more destinations. And as I continue telling you the story of this wonderful QR codes that you do not want to miss, is part of what we're trying to do. Erol's design of the project is 3 things. Bring more people in, make them stay longer, and spend more money. So how do you spend more money? It's creating new experiences, and new experiences in new areas to spread them out to the regions, rural areas, and so forth. And many, many new experiences that we're working with our partners, INTREPID, Travel Corporation, and others to bring to the market. But what is the role of the private sector, and how does the private sector see its partnership with the government is the message that you're going to hear from my colleague, Dragana Kokot, who's the Secretary General of the Chamber of Commerce in Republika Srpska in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina, by the way, is one country with 2-syllable name, Bosnia and Herzegovina. And Bosnia, for those that do not know, is the northern part of the country. So you drive a bit south and you hit a ridge and you go through this tunnel, and suddenly a whole new region opens up, new vegetation, different climate. The north is European continental climate, And the south, Herzegovina, is kind of the Tuscany of the country. So it's Herzegovina. Now, Herzeg was a fine prince that ruled that area, so Herzeg. And vino's in the name, right? Wine, vino. So this is where wine comes into place. That's a wine region. And so Herzegovina has the Herzegovina wine route that we worked on. It is a whole story right here. And it was just inscribed as a Council of Europe route, as a Council of Europe cultural route, just last month. And about a week ago, the beginning of the route and the last part of the route, the two cities on both ends, were awarded Wine City of the Year by the INTREPID Federation of the International Wine Routes. And as a matter of fact, the third award, international award that was issued was for one of the monasteries. It's been around for a bit over 1,000 years, where monks make wine, and therefore they won the traditions of winemaking. Please, Dragana, share with us your thoughts.
Keep on, Ibrahim. It's good to hear everything. Thank you, Ibrahim, very much. Hi from my side, from the side of the Chamber of Commerce and the business community from Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is always lovely to hear all these nice words about Bosnia and Herzegovina. Maybe we who live there are not totally aware of the beauty of the country since we are facing it every day. But it's a great potential, and I would agree with and repeat what my previous said. Come to Bosnia and Herzegovina and enjoy the beauty of the country and the hospitality of the people. Talking about the business community and the needs of business community, we are doing a story through chamber system in Bosnia and Herzegovina, communicating with the government and the governments in Bosnia and Herzegovina, trying to create a better business environment, of course, for tourism to develop and to achieve more visitors in Bosnia and Herzegovina. What I wanted to emphasize here, that is the view of business community. Without partnerships, we are able to develop. But for our country, it is very important that development is not enough. We need to leap. So you are probably familiar with the fact that our economy and our country is moving toward European Union integration. So in that path, we have to adjust to international best practices and sustainable standards of operations. So it is, for us, we see it as a moral and professional imperative. Talking about the partnership, I will just mention one important thing that we did in last few months, facilitated by the USAID in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Tourism Competitiveness and Coalition created a platform for community involvement, for government involvement, business community involvement, and academia. We all work together and develop a strategic document for tourism development. So we have a new strategy in line with the SDGs, in line with the sustainability needs, with the partnerships. We will hear, we already heard here, but we will hear during the today and the next day, tomorrow, we will hear what is the necessity of the tourism sector and the changes we are facing in the industry. So we need to find answers on these new trends and new circumstances. So our strategy is focusing on one team, it's not a one theme, but the highlight is conservation-led, people-centric development. So the focus on the people it's really cold here and it's windy. The focus on the people is twofold. First, it is increasing opportunity for youth, women, and the disabled in the industry. Second, equally important, is increasing business opportunities for micro, small, and medium enterprises across Bosnia and Herzegovina. The good and valuable examples of partnership that you are going to face today also is a partnership with global tourism partners like INTREPID, TTC, and Travel Weekly. That is exactly the sort of partnerships we are seeking and will continue to grow. As Deputy Minister mentioned, come and visit us in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the most exciting destination in the world. But I need to add something. Be warned, you're likely to be hugged a lot. We like to hug, so come, you're welcome, and we will be happy, more than happy to host you in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you very much.
Well, that was great. For the media who's looking for buzzwords, because you do, right? So Dragana said our ethos for development, all of us, is conservation-led, people-centric development. It's really about people. And everything that you will see in all of these QR codes right here, I keep telling you about them, and Fedja has about 300 of them right there. It's about this. Now, when you see Rajan, that means that we need to move quickly. So I got that message. I'm going to talk very quickly. So what are we doing here in Bosnia and Herzegovina to transform the industry? So sustainability principles. We're working on enhancing destination image in the world because many people do not know the country or have a misperception still they associated with war and the Balkans and that sort of thing. And so we're working on telling good stories. As psychiatrists say, you know, they have many things they do as psychiatrists. One of them is just build new positive memories to bury old ones. And we want to talk to the world about the wonderful stories that Bosnia and Herzegovina has to offer, like hosting the World Rafting Championship. The whole world is there, rafting the rivers that you can drink. Or the European Kayaking Championship, or the Herzegovina Wine Route, and all of these you will find them here again. But the second area we're working on is establishing new channels of promotion through partners such as the ones with us here today. Working a great deal on destination product development and experiences, rural-based experiences, looking at the local foods and the gastronomy, and you go see how the cheese is made. Like we have the cheese and honey trade, for example, that we've just launched recently. Many such examples that you would see in the QR codes here to show you. But we're also working on the body of laws and regulations that enhance industry competitiveness, and we're working on bringing new airlines in. We're working on new incentive schemes for airports that have already been in place. LOT Airlines from Poland is flying direct, and on the 1st of November, right after we go back here, we received the maiden flight from Ryanair, and as a result of the work that USAID is doing over there. But let me move on to the next session, or maybe I'll give it back to you.
Yes,
Duncan.
so I think just as we come to the close, I'd like to introduce two of your partners who are working with you closely to bring tourism to your country. And Zina from Intrepid Travel is going to say a few words about the partnership, and then I'm going to hand over to Nadine from the Travel Corporation as well.
Sure, thank you. I'll try to be quick. For the ones who don't know Intrepid, we are the largest adventure travel company in the world. We're also the largest travel B Corp. We've been carbon neutral for many years now, since 2010, but also have our science-based target verified since 2020. So we're very committed to sustainable travel. It's in our DNA for now, 33 years. We also aim to be the best travel company for the world, but we also know we can't change the world by ourselves, and that's why the importance of partnership and having destinations, public sector, development agencies on board with that shift is extremely important. So we know how to do travel for good. We can bring that expertise, we can bring the knowledge, we can bring the market, information from the market, what customers want and trends, but we don't necessarily have the fund, while they do. And that's where the beauty of this partnership really can create incredible difference in destinations. So that's why we're really proud to partner with USAID and with the Republika of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and looking forward to do even more in the future together.
Great. Before we go on to Nadine, so when is the first trip planned? Because you talked about that you've laid the groundwork.
Sure. So we've been working in the last year or so to actually develop the first ever itinerary to the country that is actually only in that country. So no other global operator has ever been doing this before. So we went to the country alongside Ibrahim and the local teams to do training, capacity building, workshops. We developed the toolkits to support local communities and suppliers to learn about responsible travel practices, about carbon neutrality, about carbon management, and about operations as well, and many other things that they need to be aware of. And then we developed an itinerary that we've already experienced once a month ago, which went really, really well, and we are now launching it. It's live in our website, and it's for sale, so we're hoping to run a few departures next year, and hopefully happy customers to the country.
Fantastic. Sorry.
Just a quick word on this. So we're going to be signing an agreement in a minute with INTREPID and Duncan that firms up this sort of partnership. And as Deputy Minister said, we do business with companies that share our values for sustainability, for responsible tourism. And you mentioned about trying this trip. We had journalists from 8 major organizations like The Guardian, and from Germany, New Zealand, and the US, and other places, National Geographic. And for the media present here today, we only want vetted media, and you wouldn't be here if you're not vetted. So the invitation goes to you as well. Come, experience the place, get hugged.
I was going to say get a hug.
Yes, get hugged. You don't forget about that part. But also, one of the things we're doing with INTREPID, we're going to spread the knowledge of what can a local small business, an entrepreneur, even a micro-entrepreneur, do to present themselves to the world. And with that toolkit, that's going to be going up on our online academy. We have an online academy, actually, for tourism development, and which is right here.
And so could we introduce our next partnership, which is Nadine from the Travel Corporation?
Yes, thank you so much. I just very quickly want to say the Travel Corporation is a group of 40 travel brands. We operate in more than 70 destinations. And we're really looking at prioritizing these positive impact experiences. Not only are we seeking them out, but we're prioritizing them. We want to include at least one Make Travel Matter experience on 50% of our itineraries globally. And these are the experiences that we're working with Turizam, Bosnia, and USAID to develop the experiences in Bosnia so that we can highlight those positive storytelling opportunities. And again, kind of adjust the way that Bosnia is perceived with post-war tourism, just bringing to life those positive stories of the locals and being able to share that with our travelers is a really incredible opportunity. So very grateful to be part of this partnership.
Great. Well, look, thank you, everybody. Due to time, we're going to take the signing into the press room next door because we've been pushed on time. But if you've got any questions, we're around for the next 2 days. We've been told we need to do it next door, so we'll do the signing. But look, thank you, everybody, and thank you for taking the time out. And we'll look forward to the hugs. Thank you.
Thank you very much.